Okay, everyone, we have our gloves on and we're about to make some art. Please make sure that you've covered your work area, because while alcohol inks are fun, they can be very, very, very messy. I'm going to add some paper towels or napkins underneath of my project that will soak up any of the alcohol ink that may drop off the sides. It's better that it goes on this napkin or paper towel than onto me. That's my motto. For our art, our framed art piece, we'll be using a full 5x7 sheet of the YUPO paper. That paper is especially designed to work with these alcohol inks, as I mentioned earlier. So when we're ready to use that, we'll go for it, right? But for right now, before we get to that, I want to give you a quick demonstration of some of the techniques that I'm familiar with. One of the things to note about alcohol ink art is that it is very, very free flowing. So while you may draw inspiration from other alcohol ink pieces, it is almost impossible to duplicate a piece. And that's totally okay, because that means that each piece that you create is going to be unique and have its own little flair about it. So let's talk about how we add color to any alcohol ink project. There's ways to drip, to drop, to use a brush, to blow on it, to pounce on it. All of these are the super technical terms for all of the different techniques that we have. So let me just quickly run through them for you. First, we have the drip and the drop, okay? So for the drip, I'm gonna use this for my drip. All you do is tilt your paper, I would say like, a little bit of an angle. It's really up to you. And then you wanna start at the top of the paper, drop down. If you wanna drop more, you can. And just tilt it and let it run down. I'm going to do this in a couple places along the top here. Just let it drip on down. You can let it go all the way down, or you can stop it, halfway, whatever you want. And if you feel like it hasn't gone down enough, just add a little bit more. So that is the drip. The drop, on the other hand, I think I'll use this color. I like these two colors together. So for the drop, I'm going to leave this flat on the surface. I'm not going to tilt it. And I'm just going to squeeze out a drop and let it hit the surface and let it do its thing, y'all. Do one over here. Maybe one more over here. Okay, so that's the drop. So the next thing that you can do, of course, is you can use a brush or a cotton swab. Now there's plenty of ways to do this. You can add some inks to a plate and then use this as a palette, right? You could drip your inks directly onto the paper and use the brush. It's really up to you how you want to do it. But I am going to take a little bit of my isopropyl alcohol and I'm going to put it into this cup. Just a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to put my brush into that alcohol. Let's take a piece of our YUPO for a sample here. I think for this, I want to do something with it just going straight across the center. So I'm going to take my ink and I'm actually going to just squeeze it right across the center of the paper. And now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to go up and down across the center here. That's all I'm going to do, up and down across the center. I'm going to color off. Take a little bit more alcohol. Get it a little bit lighter. Up and down across the center. And so that's the brush. So of course you can brush whatever designs that you want to try onto your paper. You could do stripes, you can go at an angle, however you want to do it. I'm now going to take my other color, you know, in my brand, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop a little bit onto my plate here. And I'm gonna try a Q-tip method, okay? I'm just gonna smear some, I'm gonna smear it onto the edge of my Q-tip here. And I'm gonna use it to soften the edges, okay? So I'm just going to rub it right around the edges here. Blend it on in with my edges. Get a little alcohol. Come on down a little bit more. Blend, 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 blend. And again, if you want it to be super dark, go ahead and just add the ink directly onto the paper. Blend it like that. All right, so I got my paper. I'm going to add some alcohol to my paper because I want my inks to have something to grip onto, okay? Here we go. So all I'm doing is I added the ink and I'm using my straw to blow. All right, so now it is your turn. You can use any of the techniques above, or you can use all of them until you find something that you love, okay? So I'm gonna work on my piece. You can go ahead and work on your piece, and then we'll see where we are at the end.